All right, first, while they get the clicker, round of applause for Joey and Russ. What an awesome conference. Button on the right. And next, Amy's probably run out of the room now. Is she still here? All right, I just saw her and Will just manage a whole crisis back there. None of this, you guys know what's going on. And then Joey or Russ is saying, get the QR code up there. And she throws it up there somehow and manages to set me up for this. So just all sorts of good work going on here. Really great to meet everybody here this weekend. I'm Travis Smith, founder and CEO of Tribevest, and let's get started. We're here to talk about taking action, right? We've come here, we've learned a ton, and now I want to open our minds to what's it going to take for us to, on Monday, take that step, take that action. First, let me introduce myself. Let's see, I was born in LA, Los Angeles. My parents split when I was 3. My brother and I moved back with my mom in a town called Mansfield, Ohio, and grew up very middle class. My dad was a cardiologist and did very well, but even when I went out to visit him, we seemed to be living month to month, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. He was making a lot of money, just wasn't managing it very well. That had me go into finance at Ohio State University. I was recruited and trained by Morgan Stanley in New York City as a financial advisor because I wanted to help myself, my family, build wealth and find financial freedom and help others do the same. Well, I quickly realized that was the wrong place to help people build wealth. I was selling a lot of products and doing really well, but not helping people on their journey. Along the way, I got saved by software. I got into the financial tech industry, got involved with some startups, started to realize how wealth was built in that industry. And along my journey, just before starting Tribevest, was with a company called Jack Henry and Associates, a multi-billion-dollar fintech where over 3,000 banks run on their core software. And I headed up their strategic alliances in the enterprise payments. So you start to see how I started to connect the dots when it came time to starting Tribevest. That's a little bit about me, but this is really what it's all about. This is my crazy family, all at my vacation home that was purchased by my tribe, by our tribe. And this is the why. This is the why for me. All right, we're going to go through the who. So who is Tribevest? Introducing Tribevest, go through the origin story. That context is important. The what, how it works. We're going to look at really high level how this works, going 30,000 foot and coming down to real use cases and even getting into the software. I'm not going to demo it, but I'm going to click through what happens once you register on Tribevest. So you're going to open the door and see how this all works. And then we're going to talk about now. We're going to talk about what are the use cases for this group, right? What does Tribevesting do for you? How does it accelerate? How does it help you start? How does it help you scale? And I want that to be a dialogue. And by all means, raising hands and asking questions, participation, please, is very encouraged and welcome. All right, so first, a little bit about Tribevest, right? Our purpose out there in the world is to make group investing easy, safe, and transparent. So it's less about what we do and more about what we unlock. And as we go through this morning, I want you to think about that. It's not what's Tribevest going to do for me. It's about what does Tribevest and Tribevesting unlock. And here's our mission. It's to enable, it's to empower people like you on their wealth journey, looking for financial freedom, helping them take ownership in private investments through group investing. All right, a little bit about Tribevest, who we are, where we're at. We are a fast scaling tech startup, making group investing 10 times easier, 10 times less expensive, 10 times safer, and infinitely more transparent. We launched our version 1 in 2018. We're on from our current version, we launched in 2022. Our mobile app is coming this quarter, which is super exciting. We think of that as our community layer. And we have over 3,000 tribes that have started their journey, are pulling capital and transacting together. Where is this all going? Well, when we get to 50,000 tribes, we'll be $1 billion company. And to do that, we're going to have to triple our business this year. We'll have to triple our business next year, and we'll have to double it the year after that. But it's not about being $1 billion company. It's about when we reach 1 million investors that have used the Tribevest tool as a way to level up, we're really making an impact. We're putting a dent out there. And that's what drives us. That's what drives us. And as a fast scaling company startup, we'll be raising money in the next 6 months for our next round of financing and our next stage of the business. All right, so we've talked a lot about, what we've heard. Don't do business with friends and family, right? But let's take a step back. How many of you remember the first time you heard about Uber? You guys, like, I remember where I was. I mean, thinking this was the dumbest idea I'd ever heard of, right? Don't take rides from strangers, right? Don't invite strangers into your home. What about Airbnb? Right? So what happened? What was the advancement that went from what we were taught in the 80s and 90s in school of stranger danger to now take out your phone, summon a stranger to your house, jump in the back seat without saying a word and drive off with them, right? Well, it was the technology. It was a technology, a neutral third party, right? A neutral third party where two different parties could come, connect, confirm that they wanted to do business and transact together, exchange of services. And about 15 years later, we're gonna crush the other myth of don't do business with friends and family. If you ask the wealthy, they'll tell you to only do business with friends and family, right? Well, why is that? Well, they might come from a country club network. They spend the money to set it up. They have the attorneys. They have everything to manage it, a family office. Well, now, through Tribevest, this becomes mainstream. How does it work? How does it work? Well, you find your tribe. You find your tribe, and we'll talk through kind of each step and what this looks like. But at a really high level, you find your tribe. And you're all individual participants and investors and active owners in the business, right? And together, you put your capital contribution, you're not investing in something, you're actually putting your capital contribution to form a business. In my brothers and I case, it was a family partnership. It was a family business. That's what it is. It's an LLC, multi-membered partnership. And when you put your capital in, you're actually owning a part of that business. And now, as a group, you can decide where you want to deploy that capital. And you can deploy it anywhere. Tribevest does not introduce deals, does not suggest deals. You don't come to Tribevest to find deals or invest in things. Kind of, but not. We're not curating deals, right? That's so important. We don't make money off of deals. We don't recommend them. And that's so you can come in, operate, right? On our platform, all we care about is making sure we're protecting the entity, the relationships, the partners. That's our only job. And then what you want to do with it is up to you. You can wire it, you can ACH it, you can bill pay it. And not just deals, but what about some of these systems of passive investing that we've learned about this weekend? I got to sit in the Land Geek presentation. And then I got to sit with Joey at breakfast, and he told me about this system that was built. This system where you can invest in and they'll do it for you. But there's a $100,000 threshold to get in. So I'm not writing a $100,000 check, but I might write a $20,000 check with 5 of my other buddies, right? Or my brothers, all right? These are my brothers. And truth be told, it's my older brother, 2 half-brothers, and a cousin. But forget all that. We're brothers. We're brothers. And a little important point before this picture was taken in Patagonia, Chile. First, my dad told me it was going to be his last trip. And we had to go on this big trip. Of course, we were getting our family started. We were starting in our careers. So the last thing we wanted to do was take a 10-day, 2-week vacation. Or we could do, but we did it. We did it. And thank God we did. And he's still alive and well and doing great. But the other important thing before this picture was about 4 months before this, you see my dad and his sisters had bought a beach home 20 years earlier that brought all of us together, all the aunts and uncles every summer, 2 weeks, every year. And brought our aunts, our uncles, all our cousins. It's where our cousins became brothers and sisters. It was such a special place. And 3 months or 4 months before this picture was taken, they had to put it on the market. They had to sell it. Right? They weren't wealthy. They weren't wealthy. They were forced to sell it. And it was time for the next generation, me and my brothers, to buy it. Well, we weren't in a position. As well as we were doing, we went to school, got good grades, got working with great companies, working our way up the corporate ladder, but we couldn't afford, we didn't have the capital. We didn't have the capital to buy this amazing investment and something that was so personal to us. And that drove us nuts. It drove us nuts. So on this fishing trip, we talked about it. We talked about never again are we going to be in a position where we miss an opportunity like that, right? And not just the opportunity to buy an investment or something that meant so much to us, but it scared the heck out of us, the idea of maybe losing our incomes and what that meant. But what were we going to do? We were going to get into real estate investing, but how? We lacked education. We lacked confidence. We lacked our network. We lacked access. And the most obvious one of all was we lacked capital, right? We lacked capital. So on those streams in Patagonia, we came up with our master plan. There we are. We knew we had to take action. We had talked about it long enough. We had our aha 10 years earlier. We read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad 10 years earlier. But there we were. We were still not in a position to act. So we were going to take action. We formed our family business, filed an LLC, partnership. We went out, opened up a bank account. It's getting real now. It's getting real. And then we weren't in a position to throw in 20 grand or 50 grand, but if we worked real hard and stretched, we could each put in $500 a month. $500 a month each was between the 4 of us, so only the 4 of us did it. It was $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year. Then, now we had a business. We were starting to acquire capital. Now we had to network. We had to network to find deals. We were going to find our first deal. So this was the plan. And then do our first deal. That was it. So coming back from the fishing trip, this was the plan. We did it. We formed that company. We started pulling capital. We went out there and networked. We found our first deal, which was a physician's office in Pasadena, California, where we were a passive investor into that syndication. Still putting in $500 a month and reinvesting those profits. One deal turned into another, And I got to tell you guys, I am way out of my league here. Seeing the systems that you're putting in for passive investing is impressive. And I got asked by a number of you, like, well, what are you investing in? What do you guys do? And I'm a little embarrassed to say that we're just super opportunistic, right? We just, a little bit of the secret is putting in capital. And when you have capital, deals start to find you, right? Deals start to find you. And that's been true. For the last 15 years, we've done that. And we've built a portfolio of over $10 million. Along the way, we even invested in a racehorse named Smaverless. Right? It's not an investment, it was a bet, but this was part of the tribe mission. Right? This is part of it. It's not just a transaction. It's experiential learning. It's social. It's the best thing my brothers and I do. It's our favorite thing to do. It's what brings us together. So when we had a few nice exits, an opportunity to invest in a race named Smaverless came about, and we said, let's check this one off the list together. I'm not advising this at all. Not advising this at all. But the tribe put us in a position to make that crazy decision. And as a result, we caught lightning in the bottle. Smaverless was one of the top earning racehorses in the country that year in 2017. There we were in the owner's suite at the New Orleans Open, watching our horse run in a $1.5 million race. And we pinched ourselves. How did we get here? It all came back to those days on the stream where we committed to starting a family business, our tribe, and putting capital in. And now it's all about bringing the next generation together. So that house we lost, well, we went back to Cape Cod, which is where the house was, and we bought our first vacation home. And yes, we short-term rental it, and yes, it cash flows, and we're doing it again and again and again. The power of the tribe. So what happened? And can someone give me a little time check right now? All right. So am I 15 minutes in? And can I get another check at 11? All right, awesome. So most of us probably know the 4 quadrants, right? This is how we were operating before. We made our money, came in, expenses just went out as quickly as it came in. And this is how we want to do it, right? We want to be able to pay ourselves first, invest, create cash flow, and this is the dream, right? But we didn't do that. We didn't have savings. We didn't have any capital to invest. And for 10 years, we couldn't figure it out. And there were no communities like Wealth Without Wall Street. We looked, they weren't there. The tribe. So we started to paid ourselves first through our bank account, our joint business bank account. And it's important to understand that's when we became investors, right? We had to get over this hurdle of being an investor. Like, we're not investors. We don't invest. Well, something clicked for us when we started that LLC, opened up a business bank account, and started to put our first $500 in there. Bam, we became an investor. We owned a business together. And then we went out, and when we were talking to people and they were telling us about investments they were doing, we'd say, oh, I'm in an investor group, and we invest in things like that. As soon as I put that out to the universe, all of a sudden I heard about this deal and that deal and this one. Things I would have never known or been introduced to, all of a sudden, because in my mind, something clicked and deals started to find us. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it, but it happens. It happens. All right, so what does this look like without Tribevest? Without Tribevest. And the truth be told, we got back from the fishing trip and it almost never happened. It was way more complicated and more of a burden than I ever imagined. Thank God we persevered. But you think about this. You have to connect with somebody. You have to agree on a plan. You want to talk about if you need an attorney, what type of attorney? Do we need an operating agreement? What needs to be in the operating agreement? How do we open up a business bank account? How do we automate payments into it? How do we collaborate? How do we communicate and keep transparency of what we're doing, keeping record of everything? How do we stay compliant? What about taxes? So we didn't invent group investing, right? Wealthy have been doing it for centuries. And they're doing it the right way. They're doing it the right way with an attorney and really expensively putting it together. Well, that wasn't an option for us, right? But this is why it's so expensive. And it takes forever. That's 4 weeks, 6 weeks time to do it. Enter Tribevest. We help you start your business. Open up a bank account, pull your capital, collaborate and transact together in as little as 2 days. So think about that. If you find a deal, you find an opportunity, and it closes in a couple weeks or 2 weeks, you could have never done that on your own. Or you could never done a tribe, formed an entity and invest together. Now, if you all move quickly and swiftly, like the technology allows for you to do this in 2 days. In 2 days. What's it cost? Well, we don't make any money on the transactions. In fact, we're paying you interest on your account. So on your business bank account, on the Tribevest dashboard, you're making interest. Now, what about the money, the deal? What about the deal? No. We're not interested. We've built a software as a service. All we care about is offering that service of taking care, helping you start and manage your tribe. That's the service. And for that, it's $348 a year. Right? Right? Have you done a multi-membered LLC? Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me see if this changes things. So it's also $99 for the, and then maybe a registered agent if you're not the registered agent. And then, yeah, we do the K1 services. And that's so much less expensive. If you go to your CPA and you want them to do your K1 distribution to all the members, $3-4 grand, right? So this is what we've built. All right, let's do click for click. Any questions? Everybody still with me? Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Depending on how complex that is, you could absolutely use Tribevest for that. Absolutely. It does. Yeah. I think I miss over that. We integrated the bank into the platform, and I miss that point all the time. And our customers are like, Travis, you don't even tell people about the best part. Within a minute of getting your articles of organization back from the state, you've opened up an FDIC insured business bank account. In fact, let's click through it here. All right. So you register, you name your tribe, you create your tribe charter, right? What's the mission? How many members? What's the goal? What are you investing in? Any other specifics? What's the minimum? What's the maximum investment you're going to be asking for from each member, right? And then from that, within minutes, you've generated your tribe plan, your tribe charter. Now, it's not a lot of detail, but it's enough to send out to your potential partners and say, what do you think? What do you think? Right? And then you put in your credit card and purchase, and you're now part of our onboarding experience. And you meet one of our onboarding specialists where you schedule a 15-minute onboarding call to answer any and all of your questions. They're with you through the whole onboarding and activation of your tribe. They're going to make sure you review all your bylaws, add your members, file your LLC, open up your business bank account. And then we ask you, are you going to be joining as an individual, or do you have another LLC, or is this a self-directed IRA, or whatever it might be? How are you joining the tribe? And then we step you through adding your members, set your tribe rules and bylaws, create and submit your LLC, banking and capital contributions and operating. We'll step through this. All right, first, add your members. Add your members. They get an invitation. They come in, register. We go through the KYC process, so verifying they are who they are, and they're on the tribe dashboard. Right? And then we walk you through the rules of the game, the rules of the road. More important than the rules are the rules up front, right? Part of this whole thing of why is it okay to do business with friends and family? Well, it's important you set the rules up front. And it's not emotional when the what ifs happen. Say, how do we handle this? Well, let's just handle it how we said we would handle it, right? Now you can create your LLC. So we're integrated in all 50 states, and you can file your LLC in any of those 50 states. We'll get the articles directly, and we'll put them right into your document management system on your dashboard. Or you can upload an LLC you maybe already have. I was talking to Jeff. He's been doing this for how many years? I'm going to be interested to see if moving your tribe onto our platform. You've already done all the hard stuff, though. So, but you can bring on an existing company or tribe. You've got your members on, you have your rules, your bylaws, and you've set your cap table, meaning what's going to be each person's capital contribution, right? And is their ownership in the tribe based on their contributions or pro rata? Or there are other considerations, like if this is manager managed or member managed, right? Those are things that you have in your control as long as you agree on them up front. So we've done these things, and you guys are following along. What you've done is, well, who are the members of this? Well, that goes in the operating agreement, right? What are the rules and bylaws? Okay, that's all configured in the operating agreement. And then what is the capital contributions? And how is that all put into the operating agreement? And so along the way, you've been configuring your partnership agreement, your joint venture, your operating agreement. All the members sign it. Yep. You can. Ideally, through this process, right? You've determined who you're going to go forward with. But absolutely, in the operating agreement, it addresses what happens when someone wants to leave or someone wants to join. And of course, remember, we've made it so easy and inexpensive that people are just forming new tribes, right? Dissolving them, forming new tribes. We have people that have 15 tribes that they're in. It does. Yeah, it does. Is this member managed, manager managed? What the difference is? What's the voting threshold, right? What's going to happen upon exit? How are we going to handle this? And so those 8 things are important details that everybody needs to understand and know going into this. And then you land on your dashboard. This is one of the tribes my brothers and I formed, and we were true to form, $500 a month, and it shows how much my total capital contribution, how much to date, the whole tribe, place to collaborate. And if you look at the top from left to right, it's all right. And dashboard, banking, funding, voting, documents, right? And we're going to kind of go through that real quick. So looking at the banking now, it's not super pretty, but it's super secure and safe and easy and simple, right? So we have our account, and we can click on, we can do bill pay. We can look at history. We can link our external accounts. We think of this as our capital account, right? So we have other bank accounts out there, but all capital coming into Tribevest or into our tribe goes through this account, and that's for tracking purposes. And again, you can see each of our contributions. We had a $25K investment into a real estate syndication in Franklinton, Columbus, Ohio area. And we just got a distribution check just before the end of the year. And then there's our interest on the checking account. And then we also have a commercial loan that we're paying out of here as well. How do you do capital calls? Or, how do you establish capital rounds? Well, you configure them and say, hey, we're doing $10,000 each, and we got to do it by the end of the month. And you send that out for a vote. Everybody says they're in, and then they link their personal bank accounts, and they ACH it in. Right? All super streamlined. Or you can wire it in. This is a full service FDIC insured business bank account. And we're tracking everybody's ownership. So when that distribution comes back in and it's time to distribute the cash flow back to the members, we know exactly how much we're distributing out. All right. So there's a lot more, but you can vote. We have a document management. All your documents are right there. We can do your K1s. And then when it's time to dissolve, we can help you dissolve it too. All right. Questions? You guys still with me? Yeah. It can. That's something we're excited to solve. As probably a lot of you know, banks don't know what to do with a multi-membered LLC. So you can't actually apply for the loan. So most of our tribes are doing hard money. Funny enough, a lot of our tribes are just putting in capital in to lend out hard money, right? Like that's their business. That's one of their tribes. But that's a big problem when it comes to partnering in real estate, because as you probably know, you just have to do an individual. Like my brothers and I'm like, okay, I'll take this one. Right? And then, on the next deal, my brother will do the other loan, right? And then we do transfer it over to the LLC, but it's not easy right now. But we're working with lending partners and even starting to configure tribes to be able to lend to other tribes, which is coming. Yeah. Yeah, great question. So super simple bookkeeping, right? We call it our business ledger. Money's coming in, money's coming out, and you can label what it is. Is this a capital contribution? Is this a distribution? Is this an expense? And then to answer your question, we integrate directly with QuickBooks, Wave. Who are some of the other ones out there? Xero. Yeah. So easy, link your account and then do all your bookkeeping as you're used to doing. Yeah. So we're partnered with H&R Block and another company called Paro, and we've streamlined that whole process. So you have your business ledger, and it's time you've gotten distributions, you've gotten a K1. So the tribe has received a K1. Now it's the tribe's responsibility to distribute a K1 to each of the members, right? So we've streamlined that process with our accounting partners, starting at $700. Yeah. Right. It's a great question. So first of all, syndicators love it, right? Because they're getting one check, right? But if it's an accredited deal, just to play it safe, everybody has to be accredited in that tribe. Yep. And we do have services around accreditation too. I've, I haven't stopped thinking about it. No, we're going to get to kind of some brainstorming here on what the community can do together. So let's hold that and yeah. Yeah, my brothers and I, now we just do every deal, every system, every business we're investing in, we're just starting a new tribe. And it just becomes really clean. We still have our tribe that we're just continuing to pull capital together, but when a deal comes up and we want to get in on it, just to keep it clean, we're doing that. So you could think of it as almost as a holding company that has an internal bank, that money coming out, distributing it. You followed me there. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Great question. Completely skipped over that. So still requires an initiator, right? And an admin. So somebody has to take that initiative to go buy the $348 and to step through what I just stepped through. And then you can determine who has the banking rights. But everybody has transparency into everything. That's so important. Like our magic is the transparency. It holds everybody accountable. There it is, right? There's the mystery. You think about when it was done with spreadsheets, it's the mystery that drives everybody crazy, right? Like, I wonder what's going on. I haven't heard anything. Well, you log in, it's all right there. But yeah, you determine who the president is, who does the tax matters, and they're the ones that can actually do the transacting based on everybody. But everybody can see each transaction is alerted for each transaction. Yeah. They can. So they can come in as a a participant, but not an owner of it. Yeah. Say it one more time. Oh, yes. Yes, thank you. Yep, absolutely, best practice, and to get reimbursed, right? If the founder, initiator pays the 348, look, let's put our capital in, let's reimburse the founder for that. And then going forward, all expenses come out of that, which is tax deductible and all that good stuff, right? You can, yep. You can schedule payments and distributions. Sure. Yeah, how most tribes do it is they've agreed on their operating agreement of when and how they're doing those distributions. So most of them are doing them either quarterly or every half or just at the end of the year. And then a lot of them are actually making decisions on if they are doing distributions or reinvesting, whatever it might be. So but it's usually more of not an automated, much more of a let's set the schedule. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Ideally, you're setting it up how you want it set up, at the start, right? So in this case, it sounds like maybe manager managed, right? Where there's the manager, and is there certain compensation based on the work that they're doing? Are they getting more sweat equity? Are they putting in capital? What are the different partners doing? You can establish that all up front. And then again, the bylaws and rules say, hey, every 6 months or at this time, let's vote on how we're going to handle things. So you can evolve it too. All right, guys, let's keep going. This is great. So how should I, meaning you, use Tribevest? So we have this amazing community, amazing weekend time together here, and we've received education, confidence, network, access to deals and businesses, and so much more. So much more. You're ready and set. You're ready and set. And what Wealth of Wall Street does is it just brings it all together. Here we are, right? Now the question is, how are we going to take action together? And there's lots of ways of taking action together. But a tribe's one of them, right? Tribe is one of them. For my brothers and I, it was the next thing, the next right thing. What was it? The right next thing. Thank you. That was what we needed. That was the right next thing for us. Taking action. And let's just talk about what are other tribes using this for, right? And I can tell you're already thinking about how you'd be using it. But, classic joint ventures, right? Now you have it all on dashboard, managing it. Masterminds. So coming together, putting in capital, committing, challenging each other on where we're going to put this capital together, and leveling up. Everybody understands the power of masterminds. I think Russ said something like, once you have two people, you have a third mind that comes from it, right? And that's the value of the mastermind. Training tribes. So this is a little bit like my brothers and I guess we could have been the amateur mastermind. It was far from a mastermind. It was like, let's stumble through this together. But a training tribe could mean you guys coming together and training yourselves, or having a mentor or a coach come with you, right? Leverage the expert. So many of you here are getting so much knowledge. And I got to tell you, you now have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to share that with your people, with your circle. They want to invest. They want to do it, but they haven't gotten the time or the motivation to come to an event like this. But they want to come along with you. So bring them along with you. Experimental tribe. So this is, gosh, I want to get into a new asset class. I want to try a new business. I want to, do something I haven't done. Maybe the threshold is $50,000. I don't want to do that. I don't want to experiment with $50,000. So come together with a tribe and learn and grow, take action. And then we have a lot of tribes that are coming together to get into big institutional deals, right? So it's $1 million, $3 million, $5 million to get in, and they don't want to put that in themselves. So they form a group with their community, right? Lots of doctors, lots of dentists. It's amazing how many communities are out there. They're coming together, pulling their capital, and doing things they would have never done on their own. And we don't think about this as you should be tribesting. This is your answer. This is your system to passive investing. We think of it as, look, probably 10, 20% of your capital and things that you're doing should be with your tribe because of what it represents. It represents you thinking differently. It represents you being challenged, right? Things you would have never done without the tribe. So allocate money towards your tribe. All right. What do all these strategies have in common? They pull capital. It's all about the experiential learning and discipline. Spreading risk. So the discipline one's important. If I say I'm going to be at the gym tomorrow at 6, maybe I will be. But if I say I'm going to meet you at the gym at 6, I'll be there. And that's what my brothers and I tribe represents, right? We stayed consistent because of each other. It's the only way we do that's over 15 years. It's an accountability group. We accelerate what we're trying to do individually, gives us this opportunity to scale, leverage our network, and do deals. Right? Stop talking about it. For the longest time, I was learning, I was thinking. The only way to overcome fear is not thinking, it's doing. And a tribe gives you that vehicle. Take action. All right. So we have the Wealth Without Wall Street community. Here we are. We're ready. We're set. How are we going to take action? We're going to take action with our tribe. And then what future are we going to unlock? Okay. Well, that circle represents a formal tribe, right? That's forming an LLC, doing what we just talked about. But please do not leave here without connecting with 2, 3 other people. Whether you want to form a tribe or not, get their phone number, hold each other accountable. I know the inner circle and the masterminds bring you guys together, so you guys have put that discipline in place. But go a layer deeper. You don't have to form a tribe. You don't have to. But you do have to talk about deals and do them together. Talk about a business and do them in parallel. Find your tribe. It's here. Your tribe is here. So when Ernie and company were talking about the workshop we did, and it really moved me. It really moved me. It made me think about the why and what I was going to do. And this was mine. You might remember me speaking up. I was compelled to do it. I said, I need to share this experience. I'm on this amazing journey, but I feel like I'm getting further and further away from those that I love, right? I want to bring loved ones on this journey with me. Right? Well, I wrote down all yours too. Stop doing everything on my own. I don't know who said it, but you know. I want to have conviction leadership. This is a chance to really work on your leadership. Form a tribe, bring people with you, show that leadership, come with conviction. Discipline to follow a plan. You guys remember hearing these at all? Okay. Consistent action. I don't put $500 a month in without my tribe. I don't do it. I'm not evaluating deals coming to me on a consistent basis without my tribe and without capital attracting those deals. Get connected with my tribe. I think I added my tribe, but the message was, I want to be more connected. I can't think of a better way to get connected. Let's see here. Leverage others. It's not a one-person journey. Think bigger, work with groups. Pursue wisdom. You guys remembering these? Become your own banker. I had to put, I'm so excited about the infinite banking, but because I understand when you stop commingling, that's what happened here, guys. We created an entity, started putting capital in, and we started to finance our own thing. So it's same concept. It's right in line with what we're all doing. Accountability group, a process or system where the family can ignite. I originally heard ignite. You said unite. I don't remember who said it. Help others and spend time with others. So this is what it all comes down to. This is why Tribevest was created. This is why Tribevest was created. It's not an easier way to transact. It's about coming together and doing amazing things with the people you care about the most. And is it easy? Well, it's 10 times easier than it was, but it's still not easy, guys. It's still not easy. So how does Tribevest help you? This is a little time to talk. How much time do we have, Amy? 10 minutes. All right. So I have two kind of things left here. How does Tribevesting, doesn't have to be Tribevest, but doing it. And how can Tribevest better integrate with Wealth Without Wall Street? That's something I'm really curious about. I'll just pause here for a minute. Questions, thoughts?
Anybody, or how would you recommend merging those two? Right? I don't want to pick all of those power north mine, whatever the fund is asset, and then how it is out there. Just a fund pool capital right now, pool capital cost. So be it the year, if anybody has done this or
yeah. Anybody? All right, no, anybody have a comment on that? I don't want to. Sure. It's a tool for somebody that maybe doesn't have that set up. So you'll come in when the time is right versus that. Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. It's tracking all the capital coming in and who it's coming from. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. No, so my tribe invests in Tribevest. Right? Correct. Yeah. No. Nope. It's completely up to you. Completely up to you. So, we see this with multi-generational tribes, right? Trying to bring the next generation along, or in some cases, drag the older generation with them, right? And it's a beautiful thing to do it. And you track it and, it's all managed. So don't let that limit you to bring people with you. Correct. Yep. You could set it up to account for the sweat equity. Yeah, I think Joey's, got inexpensive costs. Absolutely. Yeah. We were talking that about with Jeff. Jeff's group's been around for a long time and has a lot of complexities, but you've done over what? How many deals? $26 syndications, 1 point what? $1.6 million. Spreadsheets. God bless you, Jeff. Wow. Right. Oh, so right. So the neutral third party thing comes in here, right? We're about protecting relationships, right? So, don't have to be the bad guy texting and banging on the door, right? We've all agreed to it. Let the system hit them until they put their capital contribution in. And it's not because they don't want to, it's because life got busy, but you're busy too. You don't want to be following up with them. Yeah. Yeah, great question. I mean, truth be told, those people that have built that, they've they've done a ton of work, hard work. And most often it's the idea of shifting everything that they've done to do that is the reason they don't. That's what we see most often is, and Jeff, you'll probably hit that, right? You're like, man, I've already, my next one. Okay. But like switching it over.
Is things change, members come in, members go out. And so now, as the manager, I'm trying to email everybody to get signatures. I'm trying to get diffusion.
Yeah.
People, the OA needs to change. If something came up and we think about it in the beginning, now I gotta go obtain more signatures. It's mind numbing crazy. Where the system to send out all the messages, track all the signatures, track all the capital investment.
Well, and here, and just to add to that is that they can all have their own username and password, correct, Travis? To
Yes.
access the thing, so they can be in charge for themselves to go in there and figure it out instead of having to call you and then you to distribute it out to me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Guess whose duck hunting business is about to go on Robin?
Hey, you think you had something cool with this horse? We got a duck hunting company in Canada.
Right.
All right,
Hey.
everybody give it up for Travis. Was this awesome?